Resorts World Las Vegas cost $4.3 billion to build. It opened in June 2021 with massive hype as the newest casino on the Strip in over a decade. 3 years later, it's quietly collapsing. Revenue down 22%, earnings down 75%. A $10.5 million fine from Nevada gaming regulators. The second largest fine in state history. Money laundering scandals connected to Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter. Complete executive team overhaul. Mass layoffs. And nobody's talking about it. While everyone focuses on the Sphere and Vegas dying, Resorts World is failing in complete silence. This is the story of the $4.3 billion resort that's quietly becoming one of Vegas's biggest disasters. When Resorts World Las Vegas opened on June 28, 2021, it was the most expensive resort ever built on the Strip. $4.3 billion, 3,500 rooms, a massive red LED-wrapped tower visible from anywhere on the Strip. This was supposed to be huge. The first brand-new casino resort on the Strip since the Cosmopolitan opened in 2010. 11 years of waiting. And it was being built by Genting Berhad, the Malaysian gaming giant behind successful Resorts World properties in Singapore, Malaysia, and around the world. The location? Where the legendary Stardust Casino once stood on the North Strip, a prime piece of real estate. One of Resorts World's biggest selling points was its partnership with Hilton. The property includes 3 Hilton-branded hotel concepts: Las Vegas Hilton, Conrad Las Vegas, and Crockford's Las Vegas. The goal was to tap into Hilton's 200+ million Hilton Honors members, give them a reason to choose Resorts World, build loyalty through an established brand. On paper, it made sense. In reality, it created confusion. Is it Resorts World? Is it Hilton? Most tourists still don't know. The grand opening was spectacular. Performances by Celine Dion, Katy Perry, Carrie Underwood, fireworks, media from around the world. This was Vegas's big comeback after COVID. The property looked incredible. Modern, clean, high-end restaurants, a massive LED screen wrapping the exterior that became an instant landmark. For the first few months, it seemed like a success. Rooms were booking. The casino had traffic. The restaurants were busy. Then the cracks started showing. In Q1 2025, Resorts World generated $166 million in revenue and $10 million in earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, down from $214 million and $40 million respectively in Q1 2024. That's a 22% revenue decline and a 75% earnings decline in a single year. Q4 2024 saw revenue falling 21.2% year-on-year to $190 million, with earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization dropping sharply to $1 million. $1 million in earnings on $190 million in revenue, for a property that cost $4.3 billion to build. The math doesn't even come close to working. Q3 2024 was Resorts World's worst financial quarter in 2 years, with revenues dropping from $218 million in Q2 to $177 million in Q3, while earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization fell from $50 million to $16 million. Genting blamed an abnormally hot summer in Las Vegas and economic uncertainty in an election year for the poor performance. But here's the thing. Every other casino dealt with the same hot summer and same election year, and most of them didn't collapse by 23%. Hotel occupancy dropped from 89.1% to 82.3%, and average daily room rate fell from $300 to $270. Empty rooms, lower prices, declining revenue. That's not a hot summer problem, that's a fundamental business problem. Here's what Genting doesn't want to admit. The Genting venue is situated at the northwest end of the Strip, where the Stardust Casino was previously located. The North Strip is where casinos go to die. Circus is there. The Strat is there. The Fontainebleau spent 13 years abandoned there. Tourists walking the Strip don't make it that far north. You're past Wynn, past Encore. There's no foot traffic. You have to specifically choose to go to Resorts World. And most tourists don't. The red LED tower is visible from everywhere, but visibility doesn't equal visits. Genting said the 2025 first quarter returns were impacted by lower visitation compared with the record-setting volume the prior year, which was largely the result of Las Vegas hosting its first Super Bowl at Allegiant Stadium in February 2024. So their excuse is that 2024 had the Super Bowl? That means their normal business is even worse than these terrible numbers suggest. If you only have good quarters when Vegas hosts the Super Bowl, your business model is broken. Then came the scandal that destroyed what little reputation Resorts World had left. In August 2024, the Nevada Gaming Control Board filed a disciplinary complaint against Resorts World, alleging failures in anti-money laundering compliance. The allegations? Resorts World allowed illegal bookmakers with ties to organized crime to gamble millions of dollars at the property for years, without proper oversight. The Shohei Ohtani connection. Much of the issues revolved around Matthew Bowyer, the illegal bookmaker who took bets from Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter. Ippei Mizuhara, Ohtani's interpreter, stole nearly $17 million from Ohtani to pay off gambling debts to Bowyer. And where did Bowyer gamble those millions? Resorts World. Bowyer lost $1.2 million at the property in a 2-month stretch during 2022 without once identifying his source of funds. According to the Control Board complaint, Resorts World knew, or should have known, that Bowyer was likely engaged in illegal bookmaking. But they let him keep gambling because he was losing money, and losing gamblers are good for business. The complaint stated, despite having an AML program, Resorts World allowed a culture to exist where individuals with suspected ties to illegal bookmaking, with histories of federal felony convictions related to illegal gambling businesses, and with a history of ties to organized crime are welcomed at Resorts World. This wasn't an oversight. This was a culture. Casino hosts were actively recruiting known illegal bookmakers. Management knew and did nothing. The complaint continued. This culture results in the perception that Resorts World is an avenue to launder funds derived from illegal activity, causing damage to the reputation of the state of Nevada and Nevada's gaming industry. On March 28, 2025, the Nevada Gaming Commission levied a $10.5 million fine against Resorts World and its parent company, Genting. The financial punishment is second only to the $20 million paid by Wynn Resorts in 2019, $10.5 million, the second largest fine in Nevada gaming history. And remember, this happened while the property was already losing massive amounts of money. They're bleeding cash and paying record fines. Resorts World appointed a new chief executive officer in January 2025, followed by the naming of a new chief operating officer and chief financial officer last month. The entire executive team was fired and replaced. That's not normal turnover. That's a desperate attempt to save a sinking ship. As part of the settlement, Resorts World created a board of directors that includes former MGM Resorts International Chairman and CEO Jim Murren, former Gaming Control Board Chairman A.G. Burnett, and former Nevada Gaming Commission Chairman Brian Sandoval. They had to bring in heavy hitters from across the industry just to supervise their compliance. That's humiliating. The layoffs. And just to add insult to injury, Resorts World announced it was laying off nearly 50 employees right after accepting the fine. 50 people lost their jobs because management screwed up so badly they had to pay a $10.5 million fine. Here's what Resorts World bet on: high rollers, VIP gamblers, whales. The $4.3 billion resort will aim to recover and reestablish VIP play as part of its strategy to compete in the Las Vegas market. But there's a problem. The money laundering scandal destroyed their VIP business. What legitimate high roller wants to gamble at a casino that just got fined for welcoming illegal bookmakers? The property was designed for high-end play, But high-end players have plenty of options. Wynn and Encore are right down the street. Bellagio, Aria, Cosmopolitan, all competing for the same customers. Resorts World has no competitive advantage. It's just another casino, in a worse location, with a tarnished reputation. Nobody knows what Resorts World is. Is it Resorts World? Is it Hilton? Is it 3 different Hiltons? The branding is a mess. Compare that to Wynn. You know exactly what Wynn is, or Bellagio, or Caesars. Clear brand identity. Resorts World tried to be everything to everyone and ended up being nothing to anyone. We keep coming back to this. The location is terrible. In comments accompanying the financial returns, Genting said there are already signs of improvement in high-end play with increased table volumes. They're desperately trying to convince investors things are getting better. But the numbers say otherwise. Every quarter gets worse. The North Strip doesn't work for luxury resorts. It just doesn't. There's no foot traffic. You're too far from everything. Tourists don't want to Uber 15 minutes to get to your casino when there are 20 others within walking distance. Here's the brutal question. Can Resorts World survive? They're losing money every quarter. They just paid a $10.5 million fine. They're laying off workers. International tourism, especially from Asia, their target market, is down. Vegas tourism overall is collapsing. Genting said RWLV remains focused on improving margins through strategic growth and operational efficiencies. That's corporate speak for we're desperate and have no idea what to do. It's not just Resorts World. Genting Berhad's longtime CEO and chairman KT Lim announced his resignation on the same day the company filed its 2024 financial results. The CEO of the parent company resigned. That's never a good sign. Genting is a massive conglomerate with properties around the world, but their Vegas flagship is dragging down the entire company. There are a few possible outcomes. Option 1. Genting keeps bleeding money for years, hoping Vegas tourism recovers enough to save them. They continue operating at a loss because shutting down would be even more expensive. Option 2. They sell to another operator at a massive loss. Someone buys it for maybe $2 billion, half what it costs to build, and tries to turn it around under new management. Option 3. They rebrand entirely. Drop the Resorts World name, lean fully into the Hilton brand, and try to salvage what they can. Option 4, it becomes another North Strip failure, slowly declining until it eventually closes, joining Stardust, Riviera, and Sahara in the graveyard of failed North Strip casinos. Right now, option 1 seems most likely, but that just delays the inevitable. Resorts World Las Vegas cost $4.3 billion to build. It was supposed to be the future of the Strip. 3 years later, it's quietly failing. Revenue down 22%, earnings down 75%, record fines for money laundering, executive team fired, mass layoffs, and nobody's talking about it because it's failing quietly. No dramatic implosions, no abandoned towers, just slow, steady decline in a terrible location. The most expensive casino on the Strip might become its biggest failure, and most tourists don't even know it exists.